In the year 2042, inside a high-security neuroscience laboratory on the outskirts of Bengaluru, one man stood on the edge of rewriting evolution.
Welcome to the future. The data is remarkable, truly inspiring.
Dr. Aryan Dev was not just another scientist. A former researcher at Indian Space Research Organization, he had left space exploration to explore something even more mysterious, the human brain. His obsession? A question no one dared to answer. Can consciousness survive death? Hidden beneath layers of security clearance and silence, the lab was funded quietly by a private biotech firm in collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research. Inside a glass chamber lay two bodies. One, a recently deceased human donor, a linguistics professor who had signed a rare experimental consent before death. The other, an old chimpanzee named Tara. Tara had been rescued years ago from illegal captivity. Now aged and weak, she had suffered a severe head injury after collapsing in her enclosure. Her neural cortex was badly damaged. She would not survive long. Unless Dr. Aryan believed that memories were not just electrical impulses, they were patterns encoded within neural microstructures, almost like biological data chips. He had developed something revolutionary. A neurosynaptic transfer interface, a device capable of mapping residual neural patterns from a dead human brain and imprinting them into a compatible living cortex. It wasn't a full brain transplant. It was a transfer of structured memory architecture. A fragment of consciousness. The surgical team worked in silence. Using ultrafine robotic arms, Aryan extracted preserved neural clusters from the deceased professor's temporal lobe, the region responsible for language and autobiographical memory. Tara's damaged cortex was carefully cleaned. Then, the transfer began. For hours, the lab hummed with electromagnetic pulses. Data mapping. Synaptic alignment.
Scalpel, please. Suction here. More light, thank you. Vitals are steady.
Genetic stabilization. Finally, silence. Tara's vital signs stabilized. But she remained unconscious. Days passed. The investors grew impatient. The ethics board threatened shutdown. Then, on the seventh night, something happened. At 2:13 a.m., the monitoring system detected unusual cortical activity. Not random firing. Structured waves. Language patterns. Aryan rushed to the chamber. Tara's eyes opened. Slowly, she turned her head toward him. Her lips trembled. And in a broken, raspy whisper, she spoke.
Aryan.
The room froze. The staff stepped back in terror. Chimpanzees do not form human phonetics. But she continued.
Aryan, I remember. Books, rain, childhood.
Her voice was fragmented but undeniably human in structure. Aryan's hands shook. It had worked. Fragments of the professor's linguistic memory had merged with Tara's neural system. But something more was happening. She looked directly into Aryan's eyes and said,
"You are not the body, you are the pattern."
He felt a chill. "What do you mean?" he whispered. Tara's breathing grew heavier.
Life is not inside the flesh. It is the arrangement, the memory field, the awareness that watches.
Her words were broken, but profound. Then she said something that would haunt him forever. Death is only when the pattern dissolves, not when the body stops. Over the next 48 hours, Tara spoke intermittently. She described flashes of memory, not only of the professor's life, but something beyond. Moments that did not belong to either human or animal. She spoke of awareness as if it were a universal field, something brains tuned into, rather than created. Arian recorded everything. If true, this meant consciousness might not originate from the brain, but pass through it. The greatest discovery in human history. And yet, Tara's body was old. Her cells were failing. The fusion was unstable. On the third night, she looked peaceful. She whispered one final sentence.
Evolution is memory learning.
Her heart slowed, flatlined. She was gone. Arian sat alone in the lab, staring at the recordings. He had done it. A cross-species cognitive transfer. Proof that structured memory could survive biological death, at least temporarily. But science is not just discovery. It is proof, repetition, validation. Before he could publish, before he could speak to the world, a sharp pain struck his chest. Years of stress. Sleepless nights. He collapsed beside the chamber. Massive heart attack. By the time emergency teams arrived, both Tara and Dr. Arian Dev were dead. The investors shut down the project. The lab was sealed. The data archived under inconclusive anomaly. No press conference. No headlines. No Nobel Prize. Somewhere in a forgotten hard drive, recordings remain of a chimpanzee speaking about consciousness like a philosopher. The world never knew. And perhaps it wasn't ready to. Because if life is only a pattern, then death is not the end. It is only the silence between transmissions.